Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, billy goats, cats, cows, little piglets, turtles, and frogs.
Why?
Welcome to Our Moment.
Yes.
Presented by the Perfect Pair Podcast. Thank you guys so much for wanting to bring in your new year with her and I.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And if you follow the podcast, then you already know that we only know one way, and that's just our way. So, everything that we say, we can't, predict that it's going to work for everybody. This works for us.
Oh, yeah.
This is our story. And these are things that we do to stay in happy space majority of the time in our relationship. So 2023, Happy New Year. I'm Rock-T.
And I'm Krystal, Rock-T's better half.
So for everyone that's new and you want to know, why do we call our podcast the Perfect Pair Podcast? Not because we're perfect.
But we're perfect for each other.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. I love saying that part.
You do always say it.
I get it. And then I turn my voice and then I'm back to regular. Like, okay, here we go.
It's the voice change, man.
Right. It's the voice change. I can't help it. But at least I admit it this time.
So normally at the new year, we always make resolutions.
Right.
We always make a list of things that we're going to stop doing and things we're going to start doing. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, we kick that to the curb.
All the time.
Every time.
I have to say this. I was listening to the show this morning on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Uh-huh.
And Special K said 3 years into January 3rd, he messed up his New Year's resolution because he was going to be a pescatarian.
Right.
And that he already ate a piece of bacon that morning.
Tore that bacon up.
I said, damn.
Toe it up.
Special K. He didn't even make it a week. 3 days in.
Man, it is what it is. So
he messed up.
We switched it up a little bit, man. So we wanted to have a moment with you guys and share with you kind of what we do. Like, we set goals.
Yeah.
We don't do resolutions. We set goals and we commit to stay motivated all year long to achieve those goals. And we do it together.
Yeah.
Relationships are the number one, in our opinion, key ingredient of success in anything that you want to accomplish. Having a successful marriage, having a successful business relationship, career, anything, it all starts with building great relationships. So this moment that you guys are going to be spending with us over the next hour, we're going to break down and give you guys some tips and tricks and things that we do and share, good and bad. Because this ain't all just bells and whistles and...
No, we fought. We made all the mistakes, I feel like, for everybody.
Yeah. So, but that's a good point, because all the mistakes that we made, now you guys don't have to make those same mistakes.
Or you don't have to feel alone that you're going through them.
Absolutely.
Because that's another thing. I would always feel like I'm the only one going through this in my marriage, especially when you see people on TV and you see all these love goals, you see the relationships, the reality shows about these marriages that are so amazing. And then all of a sudden you hear about them getting a divorce and you're like, wait, what?
What happened?
Yesterday they was talking about how in love they were, and now all of a sudden they're getting a divorce. So obviously it wasn't really like that. I think more people should be more transparent. And that's one reason that I really love what Michelle Obama is doing right now on her tour about her new book. She is being so honest about her marriage to President Barack Obama. One thing that she said in one of her interviews with Kelly Rowland, she told her, she was like, for 10 years, I couldn't stand my husband.
Come on now.
Do you understand how happy I felt because I couldn't stand you for a while?
You can relate.
Like, and then I'm like, I love you, but I couldn't stand you.
There's a difference between loving and liking your mate.
But no, there's 3 things you got to have in a marriage. In all honesty, and I learned this past year or these past few years. You have to be in love with your partner. You have to love your partner, because those are 2 different things.
And the most important one, bring it on home.
And you have to like.
Come on, Steve. Most people get confused with that like.
Right. You have to, because at one point in time in your marriage, one of them going to fall off.
Come on now.
One of them going to fall off, and them other 2 got to help keep it going.
And one of those ones that could never fall off is the like one.
No, because you could come off a like, and let me tell you why. Because you don't realize it, that you don't like what your partner is doing. Like, I may not like what you're doing, and you might be doing that all the time in a phase in your life where you You are who you are at that moment, and I don't like it.
Right.
I don't like you
Right.
at this moment, and I don't like you. But the reason why I'm still here and I'm fighting is because I'm in love with you still, and I love you. Because you can be doing things that I don't like, because I feel like it's the same with raising your kids. Right now, when you have these little infants, you love them.
Right.
They're sweet. Oh, everything they do is so cute. Then that toddler stage come.
Well,
and then this age that we got going on right now, the teenage years come. You instantly go into, like, you're going to have that first feeling where you're like, I don't like him. Or I don't like my kid today. Like, today, I do not. But you know, if anything go wrong, you got your kids back. Like, there's nothing that's going to ever stir you from your kid. And nothing your kid could ever do to make you not be there for them. But at that moment, what they doing and they acting up, they have a phase where they might just be acting up. And you're like, I don't like you right now.
Okay, I see the point that you're trying to make. But here's where I differ a little bit from that. Where I think the like part has to always be intact, because not saying that you fall out of love and you don't love, but pandemic.
Right.
We talk about this all the time.
Pandemic, you found out.
We just came through we went through this pandemic, and you're spending so much time with your spouse. We're in the house together.
Right.
Like before pandemic, you got your job, I got my job, we got our career, we got our whatever, we're in and out the house. But during the pandemic, we're in the house 99% of the time.
Yes.
And we discovered that because we're around each other so much that we actually like each other.
Right.
So that's what I mean by you have to always like.
But you're not going to always like.
We're not going to always like some things that we do.
Right, but think about it, babe. At one point in time, you didn't like me. Let's just be honest.
I didn't like some of the things that you did.
Right.
It's a difference.
Okay, you didn't like some of the things that I did, but what I was doing was making you not like me, though, at that moment.
Right. Some of the things that you did
was making
I didn't like.
Right.
But I never stopped liking you. I never stopped loving you.
I feel like there's some things you did. I didn't like you. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't like you.
Yeah.
I did it.
Right.
I didn't like you. I loved you and I was still in love with you.
But you didn't like me.
I didn't like you. So we different on that. So I appreciate you still liking me through my flaws.
Yeah, because if I didn't like you, I would have been shooed.
Because I feel like when you like somebody, you really want to be around them no matter what. Even if you dislike what I'm doing.
That's my point.
Right. But
because think about it.
I didn't like you, but I just wanted you in my peripheral vision.
So you didn't like me?
No. I didn't want really to be around you, but I didn't want you to leave because I was in love with you.
So so maybe my like and your in love are the same things?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When you're in love with somebody, you don't want to leave. You don't want to leave that person. You don't want to be away from that person. Because you're still in love with them.
Okay, I see.
Like I'm so deeply in love with you that leaving you is not an option.
Right.
And I have love for you. It's like I can have love for you, but not want to be with you no more. If you only have love for that person. Because think about it. If you got love, like people that are if they separate and they're co-parenting, they're not in love with each other no more. That's the reason why they're co-parents.
I got you on that one.
Because they got love for that person because you're the father of their child or you're the mother of their child.
Right.
So by far, they're just going to give you.
But they don't like each other either, which is why they divorced.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So me being in love with you at the time, I'm not leaving you. I just don't like you right now. Right. I don't like what you're doing. That's how we feel about our kids. Our kids do things that we don't like, and they start acting out, and it's like, I don't like you.
I'm with you.
But I love you, and I'm in love with you, and I'm never going to leave you.
I see what you're saying. So
that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like you didn't like me. You didn't, because you didn't really want to talk. You didn't want to have a conversation with me. I didn't want to talk to you. Like, think about it. So you didn't like that person, but you were so in love with me that you couldn't leave.
Okay, so we got to make, so the purpose of this moment, is to continue to share stuff like this, but also we want you guys to really, by the end of this moment, you guys understand and you can take away something from it.
Right.
We don't want to, because I think what we just did, we understand.
Right.
But I think we might have confused some people. The differences between liking each other and loving each other.
I think I broke it down just now by saying what like, love, and in love was.
Okay.
Having love for someone is that you care for them, you love for them, and you know if something was to happen to them, you would feel bad. You will be there, like you would want to make sure that they're good.
Okay.
But when you're in love with somebody, you're in that relationship. We're together. I'm not leaving. I got you. We're riding together. I'm in love with you. And when I like somebody, I like you because I like what you're doing. I want to be around you. This is fun. When you like something, it's because you want to do this. You're more encouraged to be with that person.
Even when you get on your nerves,
right?
You still want to be around that person,
right? Because I still like you.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
We're on the same page,
right? So that's what it all is. But you need to have all three because when one of them falls off a little bit,
come on,
the other two is gonna help you stay together.
Shoot, for real though.
Okay.
For real, fellas.
That's what I mean. But okay, so let's kind of rewind a little bit, and that's the reason why Rocky.
Oh.
This is what I don't like, cause he do this.
Okay, go ahead.
Shit.
Let's go. Hey, and if y'all ain't got your notepad out, get your notepad and your pen out and write this stuff down, man, so y'all can go back and review it together and talk about it together and fix whatever needs to be fixed together. So
I want to talk about maintenance in a relationship.
Okay.
You know you got maintenance when it comes to your car and everything. You get a new car, you maintain it, right?
That's
so
right.
You make sure you get the oil change, you rotate the tires and whatever else y'all supposed to do to a car to make sure it still run, right? Put gas, charge it up now because everybody got electric cars, whatever. So I feel like we have to do the same for our marriage. A lot to me, what I noticed, and I think you fell short of this, and we went through this.
Okay.
Because your marriage seems like it's going so good, you don't have to do anything. Like, everything's great. So you go into this phase of like, why fix something that's not broken? But this is not that situation.
That's called getting in cruise control.
Right.
Which goes back to that car.
And the reason why I'm saying that, because how do you know, for me, I'm going to use myself as an example. How does he know what woman I am becoming and what's making me happy if he's not giving our marriage maintenance, showing it attention, giving it attention? Because as I grow and we get older, I'm not the same woman I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or 1 year ago. And like I tell him, a day ago, like I'm a new person. If anything, I'm a day older today than I was yesterday. So I am different. And y'all got to also understand that we go through different phases in our marriages. You may start off with no kids and then all of a sudden now you have kids. That's a total different dynamic in your relationship that you got to learn how to be with your spouse, with your partner. You got to understand now what is her wants. What does she needs now more? Before, it's probably like, I can just take her to the movies or I can just let her go out with her girls. Now it's going to be like, no, I need to help with this baby.
Come on now.
Can you get the diaper change? Can you get up with him today? Like, can you take the kid? It's no more of what it used to be because it's different. But if you think your marriage, oh, everything's good, she happy, you're not seeing what woman she's becoming now. And that's what it was for me. Because we seem happy because we got everything all together. We're supposed to be that way, I feel like.
Like, seeming happy. That's a big one right there.
And being happy is two different things.
You took the words out of my mouth. See, we finishing each other's sentences right now, but let's break down what she just said back to the car example.
Right.
Like, if you don't change your oil and you don't address your oil is going to go dry. And if your oil goes dry, what happens to your engine? It locks up, your car breaks down, you can't drive it ever again.
Right.
You got to put gas in your car or charge it if you got an electric car. If you don't charge it, it's going to stall. If you don't put gas in it, it's going to stall. The cruise control that I was talking about. If you keep your car in cruise control as you're cruising down the highway and you leave it on cruise control, even though you see that you coming up on a car.
Right. Because you still got to pay attention.
You still got to pay attention, man. Because if not, you just sitting up there on cruise, you're gonna cause an accident. You're going to run into the car. You got to shift lanes. You got to slow down. Okay, you can speed back up. Put it back in cruise control. Take it off. Slow down. So you got to always pay attention. Don't just leave it in cruise control.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I was about to say, if you stop paying attention to your marriage and your spouse, they will stop paying attention to you.
Ooh.
Like, seriously, they will.
Mic drop on that one. No, say that one again.
No, seriously. So if you stop paying attention to your marriage and your spouse because it's in cruise control, your partner will stop paying attention.
And then guess what else? Somebody else gonna start paying attention to your partner. You may start paying attention to somebody else, and then all crazy breaks loose then. So I'm just saying, like this, y'all take this stuff like very serious. This is stuff that we learn to be very transparent with each other.
Right, because it's what happened to us.
Yeah.
Like this is personal experiences that I've felt, that he's felt, that we've been through, that we try to share with everybody because I think a lot of times we look up to different couples, our pastors and the first ladies and stuff, and they may be honest. You're at your church, your pastor and they may be very honest. I'm not saying that they're not, that all of them are not, but you see this and you're thinking like, this is ideal. I want this. They don't go through arguments. And then when they tell you that, it's kind of like glassed over a little bit, like, oh yeah, girl, we argue, but it's not that big, but not really giving you the real, like, it was bad.
And this is one last example I want to use back to the car example. There's a part of a car that without this part, the car won't start. And I'm not talking about the starter. I'm talking about the spark plug.
Oh, yeah.
You got to keep a fresh, brand new spark plug and keep replacing that like so often in your relationship. Because when you lose the spark in your relationship, now you go into cruise control. Keep the spark. And we share this all the time. We can probably go in more details about, stay in the honeymoon phase.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a firm believer in always staying in the honeymoon phase. I don't care if you've been married 25 years, 30 years, whatever. Stay in the honeymoon stage, because if you stay in the honeymoon stage, your relationship always stays fun.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but I like having fun.
Yeah.
Listen, I know I'm a jokester. I joke around a lot.
All the time.
There's a time to be serious. Wait for that time to be serious.
Right.
Stop taking everything so serious all the time. She got a lot better at it, though.
No, oh my God.
Because here's what used to okay, hold on. I know, I'm going to let you go. Here's what used to frustrate me about her.
I don't care.
Is because she has such a natural, fun, bubbly, always joking around type of personality.
I'm going to have a response.
And I love that about her, because I'm the same way.
Go ahead and get to what you about to say bad.
But then when she gets serious about something, she stays serious. I'm like, okay, babe, it's not that serious. Let's move on. Let's get on through it. Now we're a beast at it. Like, we learn how to.
He still tries to not let me have my moment.
Oh, I'll give you a moment now.
You do now, but you slipped up a couple of weeks ago.
I did.
You don't remember sitting in front of that TV and how you messed up? First of all, let me tell y'all what happened. I'll tell y'all what happened. Been gone all day. We ain't even seen each other since 4 o'clock in the morning. It is like 7 o'clock at night. He's been at home chilling, relaxing. He done fished. He done did all. So he's
a couple baths.
He done took a shower. He's relaxed. He's everything. So, my son's in the shower and stuff. So I finally sit down. He turns on the Netflix. He starts watching a movie. I'm like, babe. I said, that is so rude. Like, I just got home and you're turning up the TV. You're laid back. Like, you're not even going to talk to
eating popcorn.
And then I was like, I should really cuss you out right now.
I was wrong for that.
And then he was like, you right. I said, like, I seriously should have cussed you out. I said I seriously should have cussed you out like 3 to 4 times. I probably did say it that time. All right, babe. You want to just keep going on about it? And the fact that you laughing, I'm almost getting mad again. And I'm trying everything not to.
I was wrong for that.
I looked at him. I said, first of all, it ain't even been a whole minute.
She's still mad about it.
Right. Because it haven't even been a whole minute for me to have my moment and tell him his ass was wrong. You were wrong.
I was.
Because when he realized, this is the problem that he had. When he really knows he messed up, like, dang, I did mess up. He don't want to keep hearing about it. He wants you to hurry up and move past it.
Right.
No, you gonna sit in this shit that you made.
And I sat in it, man. Listen, I almost didn't want to go back into the bedroom when it's time to go to bed.
I shut the door. Do you hear me? He want to get, babe, I'm sorry. What? First of all, that should have been your first response.
Hey.
And kept it there. And I don't care if I said it 5 times. You should have taken me saying it 5 times because you were wrong.
Now.
It only was for a minute. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
He needs to really understand. It wasn't like I was going on for hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes, nothing.
Right.
It was literally 1 minute. He already went left.
Okay, so let me explain the thought behind all that. I was wrong.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me get that out right.
Don't justify it.
I'm not justifying. I'm telling you, I was wrong, and that was wrong.
You telling your reasoning.
But here's the reasoning behind it.
Oh,
okay?
It's still justifying, but okay.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not an excuse.
Okay.
But I just want you to understand what was going on in my head.
Oh, here we go again. That's what you were probably thinking.
No, because you had a long day, because I've been saying, hey, we're going to have a Netflix night. We're going to watch a movie tonight. in my head, I'm thinking, well, we're gonna watch it. So when you came home, I'm already kind of in Netflix ready to go. And I'm thinking, okay, all right, well, she's gonna come in, get kind of settled a little bit, and then we're gonna have our Netflix night. So I'm already got the movie queued up, ready to go. I'm like, come on, babe.
He started the movie and he's eating. He turns it up and he's laid like this, like paying me no money. He's already picked the movie. He even asked me, babe, you want to watch this? No conversation. So for him to sit up here and say this bullshit that it's a Netflix night for us, it was for him.
I'm trying to use my actions to get you to like hurry up, sit down, so we can have because you've had a long day, babe. So now let's just stop everything. You ain't got to do nothing. Just leave it. Just drop your bag.
He didn't say none of this. Just FYI, he didn't say none of this.
In my head, I was saying all this with my actions.
Okay.
But now that after I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Dang, that was wrong. So there it is, man. This is what he did. Wrong.
Hey, babe. Went into the living room. He got his popcorn ready. Got everything situated. Oh, I was disrespectful. And I've been running around doing everything and getting the stuff ready for our Christmas gathering, presents, wrapping, doing everything. He's chilling.
But I wasn't chilling all day. You know good and well I wasn't chilling all day. Now don't go that far with it.
First of all,
at that moment I was chilling, but I was working all day too now.
For him to go fishing, babe, I caught a bass. Babe, I did this.
I know. So I'm working around the house, right? I'm getting a lot of stuff done because we're in the process of getting ready to do something.
But you're doing something you enjoy. That's your getaway. Yes, it's work that
but it has to be done.
Right. I'm not saying that, but that's something you want to do. Like that's something.
But it still has to be done.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is it's relaxing to you. That's not like work.
I got it. I enjoy doing. I enjoy working outside around the house.
So that's his getaway.
All right.
So what he's doing is his getaway.
I'm kind of a handyman.
And relaxation and he had a real good day.
We got a lot of stuff done.
You did, but you're relaxed and doing it. I'm doing stuff I don't want to do, but I have to do. And you know it.
So let's break that down because this woman, this is why she's a super woman. All right, then we'll move on.
Right.
So we recently moved. And we moved like an hour and 15, 20 minutes away from where we were.
Right.
And we're in the process of, getting ready to, build a home and all that kind of good stuff. But our son, he's 13 in the 8th grade, teenager. We didn't want to just yank him out of school in the middle of the school year. So
in the middle of a semester.
In the middle of a semester.
Right.
So, we're trying to be cool parents to, all right, let's at least let him finish this semester. Then he can start at a new school in the second semester. So that's what we decided to do. Now, I was ready to say, man, he'll be all right. We can pull him out right now. He can make new friends. He can still have his old friends. We still do a lot of work, and we still commute to where we're moving from. So we still were going to be there a lot anyways, back and forth. Mm-hmm. I'm good. She was the one that said, no. No, I want my son, my baby. He can finish the semester. I'll drive him to school. So she's going to drive an hour and 30 minutes to take him to school.
Pretty much, I was in the car for 5 hours
Sit
every
there
day.
in the same area. Go to your sister's house to chill, and then pick him up and drive back another 2 hours because rush hour now after school.
Right.
So you're literally in your car almost 4 hours.
4 to 5 hours, yeah.
So one, kudos to you and mad respect for you being super mom to do that for our kid. But at the same time, that was why that's what she meant where I'm doing something I really don't want to do because I could be doing some other things versus being in this car all doggone damn day. So there you go.
Right. But still, and you know that, and you literally Netflixing and chilling without me.
I was chilling. I was ready to get it in, man. So let's go. Let's keep it moving, man, because we want to try to get a lot of stuff in before.
Right. So pretty much you want to constantly learn your partner and what y'all are going through, because if you're not constantly learning your partner, how are you able to keep them happy is one of my main things I want to talk about. So it also starts with a foundation. All relationships need to have a strong foundation. And to me, it's like us building our house. We have to start our strong foundation and build this beautiful house for it to sustain all storms.
Come on now.
You want your relationships, business relationships, anything to sustain the storms of what's going on. So I feel like the two people that are in a relationship, you have two jobs. You have to work to discover the needs of your partner, and then you have to work to teach your partner your needs.
Ooh, come on now.
Those are 2 jobs you both have.
Teach people how to treat you. You got to treat each other. Teach each other how to treat each other.
Right. So you are working to discover your partner's needs. So I'm trying to figure out his needs and what he wants. And then I'm trying to teach him. Here you go. I'm trying to teach him my needs.
Absolutely.
So if we're both doing this and we're constantly doing this together, we're working and growing together instead of working and growing apart.
Come on now.
Because when you're not paying attention, when you're not looking at each other and you're in cruise control because you think everything is good and you're off to the side somewhere, you're not knowing that your partner has changed. That I don't like to eat rice and beans no more. I like to eat steak and potatoes now.
Come on.
Like, I don't want to have cereal for breakfast every morning. I want to have an actual hot breakfast every morning.
I do enjoy a good old bowl of cereal.
But you get what I'm saying. Like,
Shoot.
you tend, and then it might be vice versa. But the point I'm making is there's different things that you like to do. Because it's like, think about it. When we're in high school, we like to go to the parties. We want to be lit, this and that. I mean, you may still want to do that as an adult. But I know me, I wanted to be at all the parties and do all that stuff. And even in college, wanted to be at all the parties and all that stuff. But now that I'm an adult, I don't want to look at a club or no little house party. Now, every now and again, I might hit one up, have a good time.
Go out dancing.
Yeah, go out dancing and stuff. But to just be in the mix of all that stuff, that's not me. But you wouldn't know that. If you knew me back in the day, you'd be like, oh, yeah, she liked the club. But if you don't know me now, you wouldn't know that I don't like it.
Preach.
I'm not one of those people. So you gotta, that's what I mean, always learning each other every day, because in each phase of your life, you're changing. You know what I'm saying?
So pretty much what she's saying is you never stop learning. You never stop learning each other. I don't care. Does she finish my sentence sometimes? Yes. Do I finish hers? Yes. Are we like Heckle and Jekyll? Absolutely, man. But we still got more to learn about each other. Like, until we've gotten to the part in our relationship where even when we argue now, our arguments don't last long and we end up laughing about it pretty quick and we just keep it moving. We learn how to stop and smell the roses, but then keep going.
Exactly.
A lot of people stop and smell the roses and stay there. And when you get into arguments, you stay stuck in those arguments. And you just stuck. Now you're not all that old bad stuff. But then you do this, you did this. Now I'm that. So you want to stay so angry and so mad because you want your partner to feel this pain. So the pain that I'm feeling, I want you to feel it. So I'm gonna keep being the way I am so I can keep pushing you. Man.
And most of the time it's just because you want that person to understand where you're coming from and you want to be right.
Right. Ooh.
And when you want to be right, it sometimes can cause more problems. So I always say, do you want to be right or would you rather be happy?
Write that down in all capital letters right now.
Right.
Repeat that, please.
Want to be right or would you want to be happy?
There's a difference.
And you know what? I got to give it to the men, because the men figure this out a lot sooner than us women. They know we probably be all the way wrong, but we just want to be right. And they don't even want to go there. Okay, Rocky.
I'm gonna fix that light.
Rocky.
Later on. You see that light?
Oh,
right there?
my God.
Yeah, that one. Oh, this one over here.
Rocky.
Yeah, this one right here. That one right there. Just
put them up. They fake. But
go ahead and praise the man real fast.
No, really, because men usually figure this stuff out before we do.
Right.
It's like they, instead of wanting to fight all the time, they would just let us be right. And we can be so wrong. Or they won't even say nothing. And then I know when I realize I'm wrong, I don't even want to say that I'm wrong. I just keep on going.
Because we ain't got time for all. Okay, we're not gonna win that battle,
right?
And you guys, this is a lesson right here. You're not gonna win all the battles, but sometimes I gotta let her win. Just say you're right.
And the reason why
even when I know she's wrong.
right. And usually, when they start trying to fight back, okay. when they start to really put their foot down about why they're right, we kind of might want to just stop and pump the brakes and let them be. And they may be right and they may be wrong, but most of the time they're probably right, and we just want to be right with them, and we're trying to fight this argument with them. It's no point. So you're going to cause a big argument because you won't allow him to win. Like, he won. He's right. So just be like, okay, he's right. Like, just let it be, because you fighting to be right to show him, no, you didn't do this last time. And when y'all get in an argument because of something that you did and he's upset about what you've done and you were wrong, but now you want to say, well, you used to do this. Now you're bringing up something that he's done just to prove that you were right. And at that moment, but this moment has nothing to do with that moment. So stop trying to be right and be like, well, this is why I did it because you always do it. Now you know how it feels.
Now you're going tit for tat.
Right. So
and
now
the other one starts doing the same thing.
Right.
Like,
so that's where it goes like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because he might have done that before and he didn't change. But this time you did it. So you got to be the change because it's going to always keep going back and forth because it's going to be like, well, who's going to stop? Because nobody's stopping at this point.
Right.
You have to be the change. Somebody has to be the bigger person. And it's always the person that wants to say, it's always me. Because both of us would say, I'm always the one apologizing. And I swear up and down it was me. And I still feel this way. But that's neither here nor there.
See, but we apologize different.
Right.
That's another point.
Understanding
each other, learning each other.
Love language. And I tell people the love language is so real. It's not about all glitz and glamour when it comes to love languages. It's like learning when your spouse is like on going left and understanding what that is and what it looks like.
She knows when I'm really, really sorry about something. And I ain't got to say a word.
He doesn't. And I used to get so mad at him because he wouldn't say, I'm sorry. Like, say it, apologize, and be so mad at him. But then I started to realize his body language and the things he does when he wants to go to the store all of a sudden for me, when he never wants to go to the store. Like, he wants to do this, and he's getting stuff fixed around the house that I took forever for him to fix for me, and putting the picture up on the wall that I told him 4 months ago to do. Like, everything's finally getting done.
Right.
That's him saying, like, okay, I'm sorry I messed up.
Right.
Like, when he messed up, like we talked about on that couch watching Netflix without me, that next day, my car was washed. It was charged up. Everything's ready to go. Babe, you need anything? You need any money? You going on your thing? This is that. He knew. He knew he was wrong.
Got some new shoes.
Right, I did. I got some new shoes. I'm like.
Even though they was the wrong size, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh. Okay, so let's just talk about that. We have to talk about this. I have to talk about this. So pause and we're going to come back. Christmas. We're giving Christmas gifts and, we're doing things. And I'm like, oh, Rocky brings me a bag of my gifts. Keep in mind, he got all his, everything perfect. What he wants, size, everything. I get the little jewelry bag, James Avery, because he knows I like those on my bracelets. Keep in mind, he's bought every charm that I have on my bracelet.
Sure have.
Every ring that I got from James, he's bought all of them because he usually buys me jewelry. I look at the charm, I was like, babe, I already have it. And he was like, oh.
And she's wearing it.
I'm wearing it, and I wear it every day. That's the thing. No, seriously, I never take this bracelet off. I never.
Oh.
Never take it off. I wear it every day. He was like, oh. I was trying to decide if you had that one or not.
So hold on. Before you go any further, I know she wanted a basketball and a baseball. They were sold out of both of those. They didn't have. I went to 2 different James Averys. They didn't have no more of the sports pendants. So I said, oh, this was dope because it's a lock and key. And if y'all know about us, we got a lock and key. Like we got a his and her tattoo. Right. I got the lock. She got the key. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. But I forgot that I had already got that for her. Right. I think that was the first one I bought.
Right. He got me a ring. Thankfully, he hasn't got me this ring. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is the ring. So then we pull out the shoes. I'm like, oh, he got me some nice shoes. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it was dope, Jack.
Pull them out. I said, babe, these are not my size. He said, that's not your size. Even my kids was like, Dad.
Wait a minute.
No, wait a minute, nothing. 16 years is all I can say. That's how long we've been together. 16 years. Oh. He all hype on Christmas too, like, yeah, I got my wife this up. That's really?
So let me explain that one. So my wife got, I don't know how many pair of shoes. Women, y'all can relate. Y'all got shoes galore.
Okay.
And I've purchased many pair of shoes for her. Sometimes they was 7.5. Sometimes they was 8, depending on the brand, the style, all that, whatever. I get all that. Sometimes then you throw in the kid sizes. When it comes to sneakers and tennis shoes, she wear kid sizes. So there's a 6.5 because that's equivalent to 7.5 or 8 of women.
8 in women.
I got all these numbers in my head. You see where I'm going with this? So I'm like, okay, man, these are dope. So I don't want to spoil the surprise because I know that she was gonna love these shoes. So I can't ask her what her shoe size is in this brand.
You have kids that know how to ask their mama too, or mom. And then you got Harmony that knows my shoe size.
See, that's what I should have done. I should have asked Harmony.
Exactly.
But I went on my doggone gut instincts and said, you know what, this is safe. And I got the 7.5, but in this particular shoe, she wears an 8. But I kept the receipt, so we taking it back. You don't get your 8.
Christmas just looked at him like, you ought to be ashamed. I already got this. Like, I opened it up all excited, like, babe, I already got it. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, ah. And when the shoes came, the kids were like, Dad. I was like, you ought to be ashamed. Shame on you.
Oh, man.
But I still love him.
Yes.
And I'm still in love with you, babe, so that you survived Christmas this year. Barely.
Thank you, Schnuckums.
But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, learning each other.
So let's the foundation piece. Listen.
Right.
I don't care what kind of house you want to build, small, medium, big, whatever. Nothing is going to be secure and stable unless you got that concrete slab. That's the first thing that's laid before any other piece of the house is built. A concrete slab. If you don't lay your concrete slab in your relationship, it don't matter what you do. You fooling yourself.
Right, because you're not going to be able to weather the storm that's going to happen, because regardless on how much you love each other, how perfect y'all are for each other, you're going to go through some type of storm.
Come on now.
Some trouble, and you need to have a foundation strong enough to help you guys through it, because that's going to be like your tools that you're going to use to fight this storm, to sustain your relationship.
And weathering the storm is also a skill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you going to do in a storm? You know?
Well, that's why we bringing them these tips.
Okay, let's go.
So the next part I want to talk about is for your marriage, showing up. This is one of the biggest things that is a must. Just because you live together or you work together, that does not mean you're showing up in your marriage.
Ooh, because you can't be a robot.
No, seriously.
You can't be a zombie in a marriage or relationship.
No, it's all about how you listen to that person, communicating, how you're encouraging that person. This is something that I found out with different retreats that we've done and couples that we've worked with and talked to, is that a lot of times adultery is not really made when somebody's stepping out on a marriage because of sex. Mm-hmm. It's not because of sex. It's mainly because they're not getting the attention at home. They're not being appreciated at home. They're not being shown that they are pretty, they are worthy, they are loved. And then you allow someone else to come in and do what you couldn't do. Because you not showing up, somebody else started showing up for your partner.
Yeah, we touched on that earlier before we first started. But listen, man, if you ever get to the point in your relationship where you're miserable, you're sad, you're depressed,
right?
All those other bad words that you can put on that same list, you got to communicate with each other.
Right.
You have to. Don't just sit there and be stuck in this quicksand of whatever you want to call it. Listen, tell your mate, I'm unhappy. I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm miserable. I'm whatever.
Sometimes they don't listen and not hearing it. That's why I'm saying listening is such a key. So when someone is telling you this, if they're telling you I'm not happy, and then you hear them say why, and they say I feel like I don't have a voice, and you're like, you do. You're not listening. Yeah. Because if they're telling you I don't have a voice, you need to understand what they mean when they say I don't feel like I have a voice. You need to understand what they mean when they say I don't feel like I'm respected or something.
So it's how you do it.
Right.
It's how you do it. And it works both ways because, let's just be honest. We're humans. And humans like to be right. We like to be right.
Right.
We
naturally.
Like to, if we're being told that we're wrong about something, we're going to try to find something to say, well, no, what about this? Or what about that? Well, I do this or I do that. Instead of doing what you just said. Instead, well, let me listen to the whole story. There's a difference between hearing somebody and listening to somebody. Like we're blessed with, God blessed us with 2 ears. We can hear what's going on. I can hear her talking, but am I really listening to her?
Right.
If I'm just hearing her talk, might sound like Charlie Brown's teacher to me. Because I can't wait to talk and respond. But if I'm really listening to her,
right,
I'm hearing the words, as Chris Rock say, I'm hearing the words that come out of my mouth.
You see, we're serious and he goes
Chris Tucker.
Oh, my God.
But if I'm really listening to you, then I'm slowly getting an understanding on why you feel the way you feel.
Right, which is kind of leading
And
into
vice
what I'm
versa.
saying next. It's like, it's called respecting each other, because this is where the listening comes in. And what I mean by that is like, a woman told me this: you married the man you respect, now respect the man that you married.
Write that down, man.
So you
All caps in red, bold, highlight that bad
you
boy.
married the man you respect, now respect the man that you married. And it's like he was saying, it's all starts with how you talk and communicate with your spouse. And what she was saying, you can't just talk to your man and belittle him and talk to him in such disrespect. The same for a woman. I'm not saying this is just what she was telling me, because I was asking her, like, why does my husband feel like I'm not being respectful? And that's when she starts saying, you're probably not. Mm-hmm. It's your delivery, how you're giving it, how you're doing this. Also, this comes from therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to therapy to learn how to communicate better with your spouse, and then y'all go together. The individual helps so much for me, then it helped us when we came together to do the therapy. But belittling him and then disrespect, you start an argument that leads to a fight. Mm-hmm. It is healthy to argue. A lot of people don't believe that. It is so healthy to argue, but it's all about how you do it. And if you're arguing and it leads into a fight, that's because now you're leading into disrespect. Mm-hmm. And you need to stop getting to the point where you're disrespecting. And learning to like fight in a healthy way is pretty much setting up boundaries that you know you will not cross when you're in this relationship, when you get into that point.
Now you got to swallow your pride.
Yes. You
want to learn how to fight the right way and fight fair.
Right.
You got to swallow your pride, because if she says something that she doesn't like that I'm doing, I can't take it personal in the way of, well, that's not true. And now my defense goes up. So now I can't wait to lash back at her. Well, let me tell you what you're doing.
Right.
And now we're going back. And now we start playing that doggone tick for tack game. And that's like, okay, nothing's going to get resolved. So you got to swallow your pride. Mm-hmm. And you got to listen. And you got to understand. If you don't get an understanding, then nothing's ever going to be resolved. It's okay to agree to disagree.
Right.
We disagree on a lot of stuff.
Yes, we do.
But we also learn how to compromise when we disagree.
I think when it comes to disagreeing, I know for me and most women, we just want you to understand where we come from. We don't care. No, just know that what I'm saying, come on my side. I want him to be on my side so much, and not respecting that he just sees it different. But it really more so is me just understanding where I'm coming from helps. Like, I understand what you're saying, and he still may not agree. Cool, but the fact that he understands why I'm saying what I'm saying or why I did what I did makes sense. So, like, you know, any other, like, years before, in the beginning of our marriage, if he would have got my shoe size wrong, got me the same the bracelet thing, charm, that probably really would have hurt my feelings.
Yep.
Because I would have been like, oh my God, like, how do you not know? But because I understand him and I know his mindset and I understand where he's coming from, it doesn't hurt my feelings, because I know he didn't intentionally just do it wrong, and I'm not assuming he's out with somebody else or he got somebody else the same thing or he mixed up the gifts. Because, you know, people bring that in, because my last relationship, I was cheated on. So then I can use that to be like, oh, well, he just doing the same thing. But because I know you and I understand you, I understand where we come from, it's easy to get past different issues that would have caused the argument beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the hurt feelings part, because that's a very important piece to all of this. Because if you allow your feelings to get hurt all the time and you're not learning each other's love language, you're not understanding that, okay, if I hurt her feelings, and she's telling me that her feelings is hurt.
Right.
I got to drop my little defensive mechanism that I have, my pride inside of me, to understand why her feelings are hurt. What did I do to hurt her feelings? And even if I don't agree with her on why her feelings are hurt and I'm the cause of it, I still got to at least try to understand.
Right.
Because then if I try to understand, that'll help me prevent this from happening next time. And then it's also going to drop her guard.
Right.
Because if she's telling me that her feelings are hurt because of something that I did or said, and I'm trying to understand what I did, and I'm really listening, she's dropping her guard. Now she's not going to be like, you know, she's going to be like, oh, and I appreciate that.
That leads to being honest with one another.
And guess what? So now when it's time for me to express my feelings back to her, she's going to be in listening mode now.
And being honest, in which that leads to trust. People always think trust is led with you not cheating on me. And trust is a lot more than them stepping out on you. Trust is like when I tell you something, I'm honest with you. You're not using my honesty against me. You're not abusing me because I was honest about something. You're not using what I told you about my past or what's happened to me against me. And it's like, that's whenever you're having these communications and you form trust. Even when you're arguing with somebody and when I argue with you, I trust you not to use that argument against me later on.
Come on now.
And keep bringing it up.
That's a big one.
And then that's what you start to build such more trust in a whole different way. To where it's like, I trust you financially, with my mental, with my emotions, with my physical. That's so key for our relationship, is to build trust. And building trust is not only not stepping out, but also with handling someone's self-care or their mental, emotional, and physical being.
Those are what I call low blows.
Right. So when you start saying stuff like, if you know, like her mom is psychotic, and then you be like, oh, you acting just like your mom. Ooh. That's like a low blow. You know that she's talked to you about her mom being psychotic and doing this, she had a drink, or she might have got a tipsy the night before and she came from an alcoholic father or something. You're like, you're just gonna be just like your dad, an alcoholic. Just because that one night she made a mistake.
Right.
Or that one time. Like you are abusing her honesty and her trust at this point, because now she's going to stop trusting you.
Okay, now this is going to be a tough one right here, because I'm going to do my best not to put my foot in my mouth, because I agree with you 100%. But there is, if y'all know me, you listen to the podcast, I live kind of by the case by case basis.
I knew he was going to say case by case.
Because look.
I think I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, because look, if you got, let's just use one of the examples you just said. Let's say you got a drunk uncle. He's always drinking. Okay? And you have a couple more drinks than you should, and you got a little tipsy.
Right.
And I said, hey, not trying to hurt your feelings, not trying to say anything that's going to put you in the space of, I can't believe you compare me to my drunk uncle or whatever. But there's a such thing as letting a person be aware of something that,
if it's consistently happening, yes, I do agree with you saying.
There you go.
If it's consistently happening, like, hey, like, I just want to bring this to
pattern. There's a pattern forming here.
But what I'm talking about is like, if for one slip up, New Year's Eve, Christmas holiday, something happened, you got too drunk, the fact that you say that, make that comment at that moment is unfair. Now you're abusing her honesty, and it's like now she's won't have trust with you.
But pay attention to the pattern. If a pattern does start.
But if it's a pattern and then he does say it, that's when, the honesty, we all got to understand how we say it, how we deliver it, and understand that they're coming from a loving part. Right. But it's, again, like you say, how you say stuff.
Absolutely.
I think that's the big, big thing. And I really wanted to touch on that trust thing, because a lot of people think trust is just you being with someone else. Right. And that's not the case. So the next phase that I think that you always want to talk about is staying in this honeymoon phase.
Yes. Oh my, that's one of the biggest.
Because after you're going to argue. The reason why I say honeymoon phase right after arguing, because I know people like, that's weird. Why would you talk about that right afterwards? And the reason why I'm saying that is because it is healthy to argue, because you want to, that brings us stuff that you really been wanting to say, but you just don't want to say it because y'all in a good mood.
It's always been on your mind.
Right. You don't want to, and then when she get on your nerves and say, and you kind of walk off and you just, man, I wish she wouldn't do this. But you need to have those so it can come up, so it can be resolved in a healthy way, but learning to talk about it, but talk about it in such a calm manner. And I'm not saying you got to be like, oh, okay, honey, so this bothers me. No, but in a calm way to where you can say, because sometimes I've been calm and my ears is burning because that's how hot I am about hearing what he has to say. Like, meaning I'm still kind of fuming, but I'm calm enough to control my emotions. Right. So when I say calm, most people think like, well, how can you be calm when you don't like what they're saying? You can still be calm and not like what somebody says. You can be able to control your emotions. So that's what I mean by being in control of your emotions, ready to hear what they got to say. Because you're not going to like it. That's why you're arguing. I would say, so we all heard the terms the calm before the storm. Yes. What is the calm before the storm? That's when it may be windy.
It may be misting outside, a little light rain, whatever. And then they keep saying a tornado's coming, but it's not here yet. Just little, some light winds, a little rain here and there. Then out of nowhere, just everything stops. No rain, no wind blowing. And it gets a little muggy, whatever. And then out of nowhere, whoom, here comes the storm. That's the calm before the storm. In a relationship, if you're saying something that
you seeing the sign, you seeing the drizzle,
right?
You seeing the clouds.
I gotta stay calm,
right? And you guess what we do when we see that weather coming? We getting in the house, we getting somewhere safe. We're going somewhere to weather
precautions.
Right, you're taking precautions to weather this storm.
Staying calm,
right?
Because if you don't,
you're gonna panic and you're
gonna turn it into a storm,
right? You're gonna be trying to survive through this mess. You're gonna be fighting and screaming and doing stuff crazy. Are you still scared in these storms? Yes, you're still. It's nerve-wracking. You're frustrated. You're like, why did this happen? It canceled your flight. You're pissed because it canceled your flight, so on and so forth.
So you just took that to what you call it? When they rate the levels of hurricanes.
Oh, that level.
You just took the level 2 hurricane up to a level 4 hurricane.
Right, exactly.
So now we got Hurricane Katrina all over again.
Exactly.
It could have been stopped at Betty.
Right.
I'm just saying.
So stupid. But that's what I mean. That's why I wanted to talk about that, because you can calm it down.
Right.
And this is why you can still stay in your honeymoon phase, because you can get back in there, because you're learning to argue in a healthy way. That does not mean everything's gonna be peaches and cream. It does not mean you won't like him. You still might get to the point where I don't like him today. Mm-hmm. He just I'm over him today. You're right. It's gonna happen, but you're learning to do it in a better way, in a healthier way. So, and that's why I think like our honeymoon phase is much easier to maintain.
Absolutely.
Once you get to that level.
Let me tell y'all something. Challenge each other.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset to stay in the honeymoon. Don't believe all that crap about, what do you mean? We get older and I change. We all change, but you can still stay in your honeymoon stage while you're changing together.
And you both have to want it.
You have to choose. What'd you say? If you won't change, you have to be the change.
Right.
We have to agree to choose.
If you want different, then choose different.
To stay happy, to stay in the honeymoon stage, to do whatever kind of fun, creative things, to laugh more, whatever. We choose to be that way.
Right.
If you both choose to be that way, it will happen. If you don't, then good luck to you.
Right. And you both have to, it can't just be one of us wanting to do this. Because I'm not even going to lie. When he's like, we could stay in the honeymoon phase, I was like, babe, stop. I was like, stop. Let's just be. I was like, be realistic. I was like, nobody stays in a honeymoon phase. Like, after the honeymoon, it's just over. And he was like, no.
How much do we laugh now together?
All the time.
Some people.
Last night, oh my God.
We're always laughing. It's any little thing.
We do. We laugh all the time.
But that's what I love about us. Because, man, we can
do some of the dumbest shit and we be laughing.
Be rolling.
Hard.
And non-stop type laughter.
And I think what keeps us in a honeymoon phase is when you pay attention to the little things. Like the little things that we like. And let me.
She almost knocked herself out, ran into a wall in the bathroom or the door last week.
You didn't even see it. I told you about it. That's the thing. I did. I tore my whole arm up. I think I took the door off the hinges for a little bit. I dizzy. I think I got a bruise, babe, while you playing.
Oh, man.
I really do. But anyways. So it's just paying attention to the little things. And when I say little things, like Rocky, like he loves taking baths. So when he runs out of soap and the soap is right there, I know to replace it. Like he doesn't have to say, babe, I need soap. Babe, I need this. I just replace the soap for him. And when he's home, I know when I wake up, I'm ready to cook breakfast. He's going to be automatically hungry. Mm-hmm. So just go ahead and make him breakfast without asking him, like, you want me to get you breakfast, this and that. Just do it. It's the little things that kind of keep the honeymoon. It's like, oh, she's making me breakfast. Oh, she's doing this.
Like in one of them days that I recognize that she's being super mom, other than the day when I had that Netflix without you.
Right.
Besides that day, I see that, okay, I walk over there and grab your pretty little feet and give you a little foot rub. And
you do.
Just to let you know, hey, man, it's been a long day. So let me go ahead and take care of that for you. So, it's just so many things that you can bubble gum. I know she loves bubble gum.
Oh.
I go to the store and buy a couple packs of bubble gum.
Yes, you do.
Because she killed that bubble gum, but she loves it. Just little stuff like that, man.
So I kind of just want to go over a little bit of like the communication things that we've done that I think you should try for this new year. I say make time for pillow talk.
Yes.
Pillow talk is
Fellas,
so fun.
Pillow
To
talk
me,
ain't just for the girlfriends.
No, like y'all can get in that bed and just talk about stuff that happened throughout the day.
And she slip up me talking about girl. I'm like,
I do.
all right, now don't be going that far with it.
I do. I mean, forget.
I'm still your husband. But
Try to. We talk about this on our podcast. Y'all can find it on one of our episodes. Like, don't feel like you're walking on eggshells.
Mhm.
This is where learning to be honest. This is where the honesty coming in and arguing the right way. And don't abuse the trust that she gave you when she was honest. Learning how to still have an argument and form a dialogue.
come on now.
Forming some type of good communication. Forming that dialogue with one another, and then let go of being right. Be happy.
Ooh.
Let go of being right, and let's just be happy.
Stop it right there. Like,
that's pretty much it.
I hope you understand what she just said. Letting go. Say it again.
Letting go of being right and just be happy.
I promise you guys, if you learn how to do that right there, magical things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? It goes back to that. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up this moment. We thank you guys for spending this time with us. We wish we can be here to midnight, but you can continue to follow the Perfect Pair podcast every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 Eastern Time. We drop a new episode. And if you haven't listened to any of the episodes yet, go back to episode number 1.
Yep.
Take your time and listen to all of them leading up to where we are now.
Y'all will learn a lot.
I'm trying to tell you. And laugh at the same time.
Exactly.
Because we really believe in loving and laughing and living life. Those 3 L's. Live life to the fullest every day. Get you some good laughter in every day. And love every single day. And smile.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Anything else you want?
Nope.
We both had a moment.
We did.
With y'all. PerfectPairPodcast.com. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, follow us. And if you have any questions, if anything that you want to ask us, shoot us a DM, shoot us an email. All the information is out on all our social media, email, all that kind of good stuff. If there's something you want us to discuss on one of our podcast episodes, then there you go. You can put that in there as well. Last thing that I want to say.
What?
Is in 2023, we're going to be doing some couples retreats.
Oh, yeah.
With select couples from cities. We may go to Dallas. We're already in Dallas. We may go to Atlanta, Miami. We're going to be moving around. So stay tuned. Follow us so you can learn how you can sign up and register and join us for some of our couples retreat events that we have coming up for 2023.
Can't wait to meet you guys.
It's going down. Thank you for sharing the moment. God bless you.
Bye.
We'll holler at you.
There we go.
Arrivederci.
Rocky. Okay.
Ta-ta.
He's going to keep going.
Toodles. Well, pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, billy goats and girls and bats and everything else.
Why do you do that? Just say ladies and gentlemen or just say hi. We are here to tell you guys where to subscribe.
Why are you talking like that? You don't even talk like that. Talk
I know,
like
because I'm waiting for you. Okay. Subscribe. Please listen. You will not be sorry.
Did you just fart?
No. That's your breath.
Oh, comeback time.
Bye.